Hey guys, welcome to another workout. Today's going to be a little bit different. I'll be doing a voiceover going over everything that I think about when I do these workouts and everything I want you guys to focus on as well to maximize muscle contractions as well as keeping yourself injury free. So today we're going to be starting off with some bent over rows. Now typically this isn't my powerlifting back workout. This is more of a hybrid of a bodybuilding style workout, mainly bodybuilding to be honest. So as I'm warming up with these bent over rows, one thing you always want to remember is to take every single set as seriously as if it were your 1 rep max. This of course will prevent any sort of injury and keep you very safe, very solid, and keep your form the same throughout the entire movement on every single set. Now, one thing I want to really point out here is how I'm really keeping my core tight. A lot of main back injuries come from keeping your core loosey-goosey and just all over the place. So what I mean by this is I'm sort of creating my own weightlifting gym belt by keeping everything tight. And I'll go over this in another video because it is very intricate and it's a very complicated sort of thing that people don't understand, but once I do explain it, you'll see that it's really quite simple. So here we are at my top set. This is 235 and I'm starting to get my strength back, right? Getting back into the gym really slow, really patient, and just taking my time. If anything, I really want to get my muscles and my central nervous system used to lifting some heavier weights again as we get back into shape. Now what I want you to notice here is that when I start the movement, the first few reps are quite strict. Now obviously there is a bit of a takeaway when you do increase the weight. Your form will start to break down a little bit, but you want to try and refrain from doing that as much as possible. That being said, in order to maximize your muscle output, the form will break a little bit and you'll have to heave and hoe, and I'm a big believer in sometimes near the end of your set to get those few extra reps in, incorporating your body like a powerlifting style of movement to move that weight and at least focus on slowing it down on the eccentric part of the movement, which is when you're letting it down really nice and slow. And this is a part of the movement that a lot of people don't really focus on because they think it's all about just getting it up there. But really, the other half of the movement is letting it down. And did you know that your body is actually 7 times stronger at lowering a weight slower than it is contracting? And I don't know the source for that, but I remember reading that a long time ago in some sort of a muscle mag. So here we're doing some lat pull downs. I like to take a medium-ish wide grip, really focusing on the lats here at this point, and I'm just warming up. I can't remember what weight this is, but I do know that I went up to about 210, 220, and that'll be the top set, which you'll see. One thing I want you to really focus on when you're doing lat pull downs is to not focus so much on the weight. I have trained with so many people that have done that really massive swinging motion, and they're really just incorporating inertia, momentum, and their upper body into getting that weight. That is acceptable in my opinion only if you are focusing on the eccentric part of the movement where you're letting it down super slow. But other than that, I would really recommend you focusing on a very strict style of pulling it down, incorporating the lats, and you really want to focus on tucking your elbows behind you, kind of just down and behind a little bit so that you can really feel that contraction really well in your lats. Okay, and here we are at one of my favorite hammer strength machines. This is sort of a mid-back row. I really like this machine. I can usually do quite a bit of weight, and I'll show you guys a couple different angles here as we start getting into the workout. This is of course just one plate. I'm a really big fan of warming up with the weight, and even if it's really low, I think this actually might be 2 plates, but I'm not quite sure. But anyways, what I want you to focus on, especially when you're starting out on a new machine or new exercise, is to start very low on the weight and just get your body primed. Get the wheels moving, get the lubes moving, get everything, the gears lubricated. And I want you guys to really focus on the movement as a whole. So here I am taking my time, going up to 2 plates and just getting everything moving. Getting used to the movement of this machine, as every machine is different and works each different muscle in each different body part. And I think that's how you kind of prevent getting injured, by going really slow and kind of just priming yourself. So here we are already at 3 plates, and I'm usually just trying to get up to maybe like 8 reps, 6 reps, kind of just getting to the top set, which will be 4 plates here. All right, so now we're doing some cable rows, and I really like this movement. It really focuses on kind of different parts of the back depending on where you want to bring your hands. So if you bring it to where I'm at here, this focuses on the lower lats, sort of mid back, which is what I'm trying to thicken up again. But if you bring your hands to, let's say, your nipples or around your chest, you're going to be focusing on your upper back, your traps particularly, and your rhomboids. For me, genetically, my traps have always been a really strong feature. I don't really have to do too much for them, and they just grow like crazy, unlike my calves, sadly. So for me, I'm really trying to focus on the lower body parts. Now, this is a movement that Ron was really trying to perfect on me, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but you're essentially leaning forward so you can get a really good stretch, and then you want to contract nicely, but not so much that you're doing some sort of a back extension. So there's a real fine line. Now, I think I went up to about 220 on this as well. Once again, just getting back into shape and learning how to do proper form, which you can see is still a little bit sloppy, but, you know, old habits die hard when you're a powerlifter. Here we are doing some hammer curls. You know, but right before this, I did some preacher curls on a machine further in the distance that I didn't record, and then now I'm just finishing off with some hammers at a somewhat moderate weight. At this point, I'm pretty burned out, pretty tired, as I'm really trying to focus on my form and not to incorporate most of my body into my lifts, which I've found to be really difficult. So going forwards, I think there's a nice balance between really focusing on the contractions and the extension and the stretch, and then focusing on using your body to lift the weight when you're really fatigued. That's it for this workout. Thanks for watching this, more so of a light day of a back training as I get back into shape. No pun intended. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for some really great bodybuilding merch that I'm trying to make right now, working with some designers, and I'll catch you all in the next one.